Welcome.
Thank you.
We are back live in the Wind Clan for the Winter Solstice IAM Symposium, and I am your host, Renee Barabo, the Practical Shaman. It's afternoon time, so what's this say? Lima, of all things, it says Lima. I didn't even know it. And I'm sitting here eating cookies that I baked. This gets a little substance. And I'm here with Lisa Weikel, and she's on the East Coast, so it's a little nightier there than it is over here in California. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it is a little nightier.
I do make up words. My good friends know I make up words, and I put them in odd configurations and sentences, and they still love me.
Yeah, we still love you. I can attest to that.
So what are you going to be sharing about today?
So, well, you know, you had set the intention for this IAM Solstice Symposium to be navigating turbulent winds. So I thought that maybe it would be helpful if I shared some techniques for battening down your hatches.
I love it.
And
she has a hatch, because I think she's got a hatch that goes into the root cellar over there.
I do have an old house, but you know, I think it's good that, you know, when we are approaching times that are turbulent, it is good that we have things nice and, you know, battened down, and so that they don't go flying off. If you have you just don't want things flying off your porch or out your window or off your ship or whatever, because really the battening down the hatches has to do with, it's a nautical term, I believe. Anyway, I was trying to be clever because.
Oh no, that is clever, because you know the wind and the nautical. I'm with you here.
Right. Well, you know, this was for you, Renee.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I think that first of all, there's battening down our personal hatches, making ourselves ready to deal with the turbulent winds that we all can sense are probably approaching. So what one thing that we can do is smudging ourselves and cleansing our energy fields and getting ourselves in right relation, in IAM, as that, and that term has been brought up a number of times. It's been brought up a number of times because there are a lot of practitioners who've been trained in the Karo tradition. So, and IAM is a Quechua term.
I don't know if anyone said IAM yet today.
I think they did.
I didn't hear it, but then again, I was only listening with half an ear.
Right. It's been mentioned a couple times, I'm pretty sure. And if not, now it is. But so it is good for us to be in right relationship and in balance with the world in order to not be subject to the vagaries of what may be blowing our way. So, and I know this is probably kind of simple, but when I first started studying energy practices, like 35 years ago, I read about smudging, but my Roman Catholic background had me thinking, well, that must mean like the smudging of the ashes on Ash Wednesday on your forehead. Like I just didn't get what smudging was. And smudging is actually a native North American term for cleansing one's energy field with sage. So I just thought just in case there are some people who aren't fully familiar with all the terms that you and I are really familiar with, I thought I might show people what it is to smudge. So I have my lovely Vanna White, my husband, Carl, and I thought Now this may get a little unwieldy because I'm going to turn my computer, but I'm going to smudge him and show people what it is like to smudge. But before you get up, I want to just explain a little bit about what you use to smudge, and that would be sage. And you can buy sage. You can buy sage loose, and it looks like this. And if they're lucky enough to live out in the desert like you are, Renee, I know you go out and harvest your own. Oh, those of us on the East Coast, and well, I guess it could grow on the East Coast, but for the most part, we have to buy it. So you can buy it loose like this, or you can buy it in a smudge stick like this. And so you need sage. You can use an abalone shell like this. And that's obviously if you're using the loose sage, and you would put a little piece of pressed charcoal in the bottom, light that, and then put the smudge on top, or the sage on top, and then light it, and then waft it with a feather fan. Or, you can always just blow on it and use your breath and use your hands. Anything I'm telling you here really is, you can always improvise. You don't always have to have all the tools. The most important thing, first of all, is your intention. Our intention is very powerful. And obviously it is good to have the sage. Anyway, so you have the sage, a container to hold it in or over, because even when I use a smudge stick, it's smart to have something underneath it to catch any, sparks or anything. And I'm also going to be going into taking care of your home. That's really battening down your hatches on a larger level, but I want to show the personal way first. So, and also just as another little trick, I have found, this is something that I've bought at Pier 1, and it's just a little candle holder. It holds a tea light. And as you can see, it's in the form of a leaf, which is really cool, and it's metal. This is a great thing to have on hand to put some sage in, light it, and then you can just quickly smudge yourself or smudge wherever you are. And I've just found that it's a really cool little thing to have on hand. So I thought I'd give you that little hint. So in order to smudge a person, and I am going to do this with a smudge stick. I suppose I could show you just on myself, but it is nice to do it on someone else so you can see how it works. That Carl, what you can
Thank you, Carl, for being a willing smudge participant.
Did you hear that? Come over here.
I did.
Come over here.
You want me to stand
Just
here?
stand there. Can you see them? No, I guess you can't. Okay, so we're gonna shift this. Almost. There. How's that? So, as you
Now
can,
we're looking good. A family that smudges together stays together.
let's hope. This is, I always start at the top of the head. Now, and it's important to, again, to have your intention is to clean out stale energy and bring in new. But so you're this. And I go all the way down to the feet. I'm not going to make you look at the feet. And all, you can either use your hands or you can use the feather. But this is smudging. Now, I also like to, okay, you can turn around, have the person who's smudging wash their hands in the smoke and then bring it into their solar plexus, which is in the Karo tradition, it's Yankai, which is right action, then into their heart, and that's Munai, which is right love or unconditional love, and then into their third eye area, which is Yachai, and that's wisdom. So it's good to clean out your power center, your heart center, and your wisdom center. And then I finish it up with having them take it up and over their heads. You feel all refreshed now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that is smudging a person. Thank you, Carl. Would you prefer that I keep standing? Is that better when I stand?
I think the standing is good because we lose you, like, then we're just a talking head, and we're tired of those talking heads in our country.
I'm gonna be a talking head. And look, quite frankly, I did try to brighten the night since
Oh, you did. Look at all of that, like festive.
I am. I like to bring light. So here
And she also, see that owl there? That's one she just painted, isn't that?
it is the one I just painted. Yeah.
How
Thanks.
awesome is that?
How? Yes, considering
There's a
that.
book called Owl Medicine, so owl over the fireplace. It really makes a lot of sense.
Well, and also you received the owl as a gift earlier in, was it, no, I can't remember her
It
name.
was it was from Lori Morrison's talk. She
So
gave
nice.
us a snowy owl. How was that?
That was very cool. So the next thing I want to talk about is battening down your hatches as far as your home. And this is, this has like a lot of instruction. Oh, that's your cat's tail. I thought that was my cat's tail.
Tommy wants to know how we batten down our hatches.
Okay, so this is a way of really cleaning and then sealing your home. So I want to just say, well, I'll tell you later. So what I do is I start at the entrance to my home, and let's say that this was my front door. I'd walk in and I'd start to my right because I've been taught that left is receiving and right is giving. So we're wanting to cleanse the environment. So we want to go to the right. And that's also going counterclockwise, called widdershins in some pagan traditions. So I like to go right, and I take the smudge stick and I just pretty much hold the intention of cleaning out all the hoocha, all the heavy energy, negative stuff, just stuff that if you've had something that was really sad, then you have probably pockets of grief lurking around in your home, or if you've had an argument, or even, quite frankly, just the everyday stuff we drag in and out of our homes from being out there in the world where all those turbulent winds are. I mean, we drag in stuff. So it is good practice to cleanse your home every once in a while. So I clean each room. I go from, right to left, and then I go, upstairs and downstairs, and it doesn't, you can make yourself crazy trying to, make a pattern. Just do what feels right to you. You can either start at the top floor and work your way down, start at the bottom and work your way up, or whatever. But what's most important, I want to emphasize to everybody, is your intention. So say I walk into my home, and I am going to show you a little bit. No, that's okay. Over here, you can see that there's a window. And what I do that's the next step. I go around and I clean out in all the corners. I blow and make sure that the smudge, the sage smoke is going into each corner. That is where you want to make sure that you're getting, because heavy energy likes to accumulate in dark places and in corners and like under things, for instance, like under your couch. And I'm not suggesting that you blow any sparks under your couch, but you can energetically sweep out there with your intention while holding the smudge stick, obviously. So you go through each of your rooms and you sense as well. Sense whether or not, a particular corner needs a lot more. And also you need to know that clutter also captures pucha. So luckily I am such an impeccable house cleaner that I never have clutter ever. That's my.
I could be laughing out loud. I'll be quiet.
Well, anybody who knows me knows that that's a ridiculous thing. So I want you to go through every room, and you should even smudge out, your bathroom, your kitchen, hallways, everything. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. Just go through, use your senses, make sure if you think that there's anything pooling that you get rid of it. Okay, so the next important thing, which is really battening down the hatches, is sealing. And that's where I talk about the windows, the doors, and things like that. And this is what I suggest you do. This is what you do after you have cleaned everything out. Then you go to every window and you make the sign of the cross. This isn't a Christian thing. I mean, it is a Christian thing, but it's not solely Christian. Seal it from top to bottom, left to right, and you affirmatively state, I do not allow anything that does not have my highest and best intentions at heart to enter this without my permission, ever. And that's how I seal it. It's sealed top to bottom, left to right. And I do that to every window, every door, every mirror, because those can be portals to energy. And, you're obviously sealing it off to pucha, negative energy, or heavy energy. It's not negative. I also do, for instance, you look at a TV. Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. You should seal off your TVs. So you have windows, doors, TVs. You're going to think I'm a little weird, but toilets. Seal off your toilets. Let's see what else. Oh, fireplace. Any entrance that comes into your home. Yeah, windows, doors, toilets, mirrors, TV screens, and fireplaces are the main ones that I focus on. So that really seals it. And then my final thing is, because I like tinkly things, wait a second. I also like to then go around and just bring in a joyful sound, bells, usually, or wind chimes, things like that, and just bring in happiness and good things and light. So those are my batten down your hatches suggestions.
I love it. And now we've got those Alexa and all those smart things. So I think we need to pick up those too. If you happen to have those in your home, I don't, but I might. Well, this was really, I love these practical kind of things.
Well, that's what I thought. It would be a little practical, and here I am kind of I'm being kind of goofy, aren't I? Sorry.
It's okay. We love you that way.
Yeah.
So this is Lisa Weikel, and get back up there. I was liking
God.
that chair is going. No more chair
There. Yeah, okay, I'll find a better
You
chair.
see, now we can see you. We see how shiny you are. The other way, come on, everyone, tell her. Just we were getting the head shop. So I absolutely adore you. Thank you, Carl, for being here with us. Because if I remember correctly, you don't like the smell of sage.
He likes the smell of sage.
Oh, it's one of your sons who didn't, somebody didn't like sage in your house.
No, Alex.
Sage, I hope.
Not sage, I hope. That would be maybe the dogs, the
I
cat.
don't know, but thank you so much for being here and giving us a simple tip. We forget to do these things that are really simple, like batten down the hatches. And how often, on our last thing, how often do you suggest that somebody really gives their house a good smudging and a good saging?
Well, I think it's good to either do it at the solstices and the equinoxes. I mean,
Okay.
and more often if you feel like, really always pay attention to what you feel. If you think, what are you saying? My giveaway. Oh, I wanted to tell you too. Thank you, Carl, for reminding me. That was kind of like a lot of yakety yak, and I'm sorry about that, but I did my gift for the IAM symposium is it's 4 pages of me describing exactly this ritual that you can do.
Awesome.
So, just because, because I feel like it's important. It's a good habit to get into, and always listen to yourself. And if you feel like you need to clean it out, never doubt.
Oh, I love that. I love that little never doubt, clean it out. All right. Well, thank you very much for both of you for showing up today.